the New South Wales, NSW government's push to extend controversial bail laws, making it more difficult for young people to secure release, is facing growing criticism from experts who argue that incarcerating more children will not effectively deter crime. New data reveals a concerning trend of increased youth detention in NSW, directly linked to the stricter bail conditions. This week, the government will propose an extension of these laws until 2028, a move that has sparked considerable debate. The proposed legislation has ignited a fierce discussion regarding its efficacy and ethical implications. While some support the extension, believing it necessary to address rising crime rates, others express serious reservations. Roy Butler, an independent member of Parliament, MP, for Barwon, a region encompassing some of NSW's most disadvantaged communities, voiced his support for the extension while acknowledging its limitations. With extensive experience as a former police administrator, Butler emphasized that the legislation, while perhaps providing a temporary sense of security, ultimately fails to address the root causes of juvenile delinquency. He stated unequivocally, "It's not actually going to change the long-term outcomes for communities or for people." His perspective highlights a crucial gap in the government's approach, a failure to address underlying societal issues contributing to youth crime. This lack of a holistic strategy casts doubt on the long-term effectiveness of the proposed legislation, raising concerns that it might merely serve as a reactive, rather than proactive, measure. The initial impetus for the controversial law changes stemmed from public outcry concerning rising crime rates in regional areas. In response, Premier Chris Minns implemented a year-long amendment to youth bail laws in 2022. This amendment significantly tightened bail conditions for young people accused of offenses such as break and enter or car theft, particularly those already on bail for similar crimes. The effect has been a sharp increase in youth detention, raising questions about whether the policy's benefits outweigh the substantial social and economic costs. The financial burden associated with youth detention is staggering. Government figures from 2021 to 22 reveal an average daily cost of $2,748, 96 per young person incarcerated in a youth justice center. This exorbitant cost underscores the economic inefficiency of the current approach, suggesting that a more comprehensive strategy focusing on prevention and rehabilitation would be a more fiscally responsible and socially beneficial investment. The exorbitant cost per child necessitates a critical reevaluation of the strategy's cost-effectiveness. Instead of solely focusing on punitive measures, the government should consider investing in community-based programs and initiatives aimed at addressing the underlying social and economic factors that contribute to youth crime. These programs could include educational initiatives, job training programs, and mental health services, ultimately providing young people with opportunities for positive change and reducing the likelihood of future offenses. Such an approach would likely be more effective in the long run than simply locking up more children, offering a more humane and financially viable solution to a complex social problem. The sheer financial burden alone should prompt a critical examination of the current strategy and a search for more sustainable, effective, and humane alternatives. The debate underscores the need for a multifaceted approach that addresses the root causes of youth crime, rather than solely relying on punitive measures with unproven long-term efficacy. Ignoring the underlying social issues will only perpetuate the cycle of crime and incarceration, leading to a continuous drain on public resources without meaningful improvement in community safety.